Hello, good afternoon. We are Team 2 and today we are going to explain about the digestive system. First, we need to know that digestion occurs when all food are broken down into smaller soluble molecules. But why it happen? Because in these ways the molecules can be absorbed into your bloodstream and used by your body. Then we have that digestion divides into three parts. In the first one, sugars are involved, that begins in the saliva. The second one is in the stomach, and is when the proteins and the carbohydrates are broken down. And the third one is when the lipids are broken down in the small intestine. The digestive system divides into two groups of organs, that is the large muscular tube that begins at the mouth and ends at the anus. And the function of this organ is transform the food into a kind of mash. And this occurs for absorbing nutrients easily by your body. And the second group are the auxiliary organs that help in this process too. And these are the teeth, the salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and the pancreas. And with that, we have that the digestive process divides into the mechanical and the chemical digestion. The first one is the mechanical, that breaks down food into smaller parts, and this occurs mainly in the mouth, by chewing and grinding the food, but also in the stomach, by churning the food. The second one is the chemical, that breaks down the large molecules that comprise food, that are the carbohydrates, the lipids, the proteins, and the nucleic acids. And the responsibles of all of these are the enzymes of the saliva, the gastric juice in the stomach, the intestinal secretion, and the bile.
We can summarize the function of this system in 5 basic operations. 1. Ingestion. 2. Mechanical digestion. 3. Chemical digestion. 4. Absorption. And 5. Eliminations. So now I'm going to explain you what is the function of these basic operations. What is ingestion? Ingestion is the food that enters the digestive system through the mouth. Ingestion is a common step for pathogenic organisms and poisons to enter the body. Ingestion can include substances that are not edible, such as foreign bodies or excrement. I'm going to explain you what is mechanical and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion is the feed is physically crushed by teeth action and stirring movements, allowing the enzymes to better act on the resulting particles. So in few words, it's the movement when we are eating with the teeth. Chemical digestion, our food particles are exposed to the action of enzymes and other digestive secretions that break down large molecules and smaller subunits. Absorption and elimination. What is absorption? Absorption is smaller subunits are transported through cells lining the digestive tract. It's when we absorb the subunits of the food. Elimination is the opposite of unabsorbed or undigested matter is expelled from the body. So absorption is all the minerals, vitamins that we need for our body and that our body absorbs to maintain in the body. And elimination is all the things that our body doesn't need, so the body expels from our body.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about how digestion begins in our body. The first stage of this process happens in our mouth, where food is prepared for the journey through the digestive system. When we take a bite, our teeth break the food into smaller pieces, and our tongue moves it around to mix it with saliva. This helps us chew and swallow more easily. At the same time, our taste buds send signals to the brain and allowing us to enjoy different flavors. As we continue chewing, the food becomes soft and forms a small ball called the bolus, which is ready to move down to the next stage. Also, saliva plays an important role in digestive system. Our body produces about 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva every day. Saliva is mostly water, but it also contains special substances, including an enzyme called amylase. This enzyme starts breaking down starch into smaller sugars, helping our body absorb nutrients more easily. Even after we swallow, amylase keeps working for about an hour until stomach acids stop it. That's why eating slow can help with digestion. Once the food is ready, it passes through the pharynx, which is a tube behind the nose and the mouth. This tube is used for both breathing and at the same time eating. When we breathe, air passes through the pharynx into our lungs. When we eat, food moves through the same passage but goes toward the stomach. A small flap called the epiglottis makes sure that body doesn't go the wrong way into our lungs. This is why talking or laughing while eating can be dangerous. It can cause choking. After leaving the pharynx, food enters the esophagus, a long tube that connects the throat to the stomach. The esophagus pushes food down using a special movement called peristalsis. This is when the muscles squeeze in waves to move food towards the stomach. The esophagus also has a slippery lining that helps the food slide down easily.
To continue with the structural part of our digestive system, we have the stomach, that is the most expensive region of all our digestive tract, in where we can store a little of food. This is a muscular organ internally covered by a mucous membrane. In the parts of the stomach is the fundus, the cardia, the body, the antrum, the pylorus, the duodenum, and the pyloric sphincter. Our stomach has 4 essential functions in digestion. One of these is the temporary food store. This means that our stomach can hold a large amount of food for a long time. The second one is that performs mechanical and chemical digestion, thanks to the smooth muscle walls acting on the food with involuntary movements from different angles. The third one is the chemical breakdown of proteins. This means when we ingest proteins, the chemical breakdown converts this into amino acids. And the fourth one is that produce gasoline. This means that when food reaches the stomach, it stimulates the production of this hormone. Then we have the small intestine. This is the longest part of our intestinal tract. And this can perform the function of break down food and absorb nutrients into the blood. This consists of a smooth muscle, and the 90% of nutrients that are absorbed, it is here. And this is the end of the chemical digestion. But the small intestine has 3 auxiliary organs. One of these is the pancreas, and it is a mixed gland because we have an endocrine and exocrine function. And the liver and the gallbladder are the other auxiliary organs that work in coordination with the pancreas in the digestive process. Finally, we have the large intestine. This begins in a pouch called the cecum, which receives chymes from the small intestine. The cecum projects small fingers-like pouch called appendix that has no digestive function. And the rectum is the lowest part of the large intestine and stores fecal matter.
Diseases. These are some diseases that we can have in our digestive system. The first one is the gastric reflux.
When irritating foods are consumed in excess, such as coffee, tobacco, alcohol, or fats, the secretion of stomach acid is strongly stimulated, causing a relaxation of esophageal muscle that is reflected in adequate closure of the sphincter, so that the gastric contents can rise from the stomach into the esophagus and irritate the wall, causing a sensation of burning. Gastroesophageal reflux is a very uncomfortable condition, which in most cases only requires a change of diet. Gastric reflux is most common in babies because their esophageal muscle isn't full of development, and this constantly causes milk to go back and after swallowing. The second one is the gastritis. Gastritis is an inflammation that occurs in the mucus that acts as a gastric lining and originates when the pH of the stomach organs becomes unstable, leading to acid conditions. Gastritis causes stomach pain, reflux, and indigestion. Its symptoms are burning in the esophagus, nausea, vomiting, and a feeling of impotence in the stomach. From gastritis, we can have gastric cancer. Persistent gastritis and reflux can become complicated and create an open wound somewhere in the gastrointestinal tract, known as peptic ulcer diseases. Helicobacter pylori are responsible for these diseases. This bacterium can survive in the stomach acid environments thanks to its ability to generate ammonia around itself with neutral stomach acid. Moreover, thanks to its spiral shape, it quickly enters the mucous membranes of the stomach, which are less acid than the outside. There, it infects the protective mucous secretion cells, which causes a considerable reduction of this substance, irritating the stomach of the point in injury. The third one is the colitis. Colitis is a common name from irritable bowel syndrome. It is a disease that can occur in both men and women. However, women are the most affected by it. At least in Mexico, it's currently suffered by 30% of women under 45 years of age. Colitis occurs daily in young women from their 20s onwards. Sedentary lifestyles and the consumption of ultra-processed food have also allowed it to appear in men, although with a lower incidence. As the name suggests, the disease is an intestine irritation, causing various discomforts such as acute abdominal pain, constipation, gas, and abdominal swelling. It is considered a disease when symptoms occur continuously for 3 months without improvement. Thank you for watching.